Yeah. There you go. Remember to tweet as on the go if you're moved like you are. I saw someone ask for some extra serviettes after watching that documentary. I understand. So please, stewards, make sure they are there as we get to listening to Caroline. Karibu sana.
Good afternoon, everyone.
Afternoon.
My name is Caroline Kiarie Kimondo. I'm the head of innovation at UNDP. I lead an accelerator lab, and we are very, very proud to have walked the journey with Taka Taka Nimali. UNDP is committed towards sustainable environmental management. We have a key program that looks at how we can reduce poverty, but as well as take care of the environment. And I think this is timely for you to be launching this while we are having COP27, because it is important. It is important for us to consider the ways in which we can not only take advantage of our waste, but really create livelihoods out of it. I know that in Nairobi alone, we have more than 3,000 tons of waste that is produced each and every day. And majority of this ends up at the dump site. I don't know how many of you have gone to the dump site, the Kitengela dump site. Yeah? It is a pile and pile and pile of dump site. And 20% of that waste comes from plastics. And out of that waste that ends up at the dump site, a third of it ends up in oceans, rivers, and waters. And most recently, we found out that we're actually consuming microplastics in our water. So it actually ends up in our system. So we have to find out ways in which to actually reduce the waste that ends up at dump sites, especially landfill dump sites, and how we properly recycle our waste. And it starts at the household. Many of us, we collect the waste from our households, we put it in a trash bag without the consideration of, do I sort the plastics? Do I sort the glasses? Do I sort the aluminium? And for most parties, because we lack an incentive to do that. Why would I do that? Or sometimes we lack the information, or we can even lack the tools. For many households, maybe just the availability of different bags can actually promote that behavior change and practice where you actually sort and separate your waste. So like I said, I lead the accelerator lab at UNDP. And one of the things that we do is we identify local innovations that can actually address complex development challenges. We invest in them to pilot, to experiment and see their usability. And then we see how then they can be able to go to scale and actually be used across the country. So we invest in ideas, we invest in prototypes, we invest in innovations. And Mary approached us and she had this idea. How do we connect technology to waste management? And what it was, is an innovative app that links households to waste entrepreneurs, to recyclers. This was quite, complex idea. How do we change the behaviors of households to be able to actually engage with this app? How do we not intervene in the existing cycle of waste management where we have the county government, where we have the private sector engaged in this process? So we had a lot of iteration and discussion on how do we actually support this organization to deploy this idea into the market. After a lot of engagements, a lot of back and forth, I think we have really seen for ourselves, I think, was it played for the audience, the app? Okay, I think once you see it, you'll see that it is a fantastic app that connects the household to waste recyclers, to waste entrepreneurs. Ideally, it is actually going to be a marketplace, like Mary has said, where you can even trade from your household. You collect your waste in a bag, and you can be able to get a market for that. And what it does not interfere with the normal waste routing of waste and management of the waste. It actually advances and promotes waste collectors to come on board this app and gain a livelihood from that. That's one thing that was actually very important as we were going through this process of developing this app. And so, like I said, UNDP is proud to have been part of the story of Taka Taka Nimali. We look forward to seeing this scaled across the country, not just in Kajiado County, but across the country and even global. We know that countries such as Sweden, they have only 1% of their waste ending up at dump sites. And this is possible for us as well. During the first 3 months where this innovative app was being deployed, 17,000 kilos of waste was averted from the dump site. That means, continuous engagement with this app will result in the dump site going lower and lower and lower. And eventually we can have a situation where we don't have dump sites in the country. And another thing that is so important about this application and this entire circular approach is that you get more value from the waste. So we can get value from the food waste, we can get value from the aluminium waste, we can get value from the plastic waste. More jobs are being created from this app. More businesses are going to come out from this app. So from us at UNDP, we're very proud. We look forward to seeing how this story unfolds. You can be sure of our support. We are very excited about, really this story going global. And we continue to work with you on that. So thank you so much.
Thank you so much. A round of applause as well once again to Caroline. Thank you so much for those remarks and really telling us what you've told us, that 17,000 guys, sometimes it's good to think literally. 17,000 of waste averted from the dump site just at the launch. If you want to really understand it, ask yourself how many kilos you are. Then now it's easy to convert. It's easy to convert and see it. That's a lot. That's a lot. One more thing she said is that she acknowledges as UNDP that it was actually complex to create an ecosystem where we can infuse digital ways of waste management. But I want to repeat the great words spoken by the chairman, that if you give it to a woman, especially a Nyeri woman, is that what I say? It's as easy, right? There you have it. Next in line is, yeah, I heard you speak that. Tasha Bali, who is from the Foreign Common and Development Office, that's FCDO. She will also make some remarks, and just important to note that they have also supported Taka Taka Nimali current project all the way till mid next year. So a round of applause to Tasha Bali as she comes to address us as well. Karibu sana to this unique podium.
Thank you very much. I'm only going to be very brief, as I think that Mary and Caroline have already said it all. So the British High Commission have been very privileged to work with Taka Taka Nimali in helping develop their ecosystem and take this initiative forward. We're very excited about the potential of creating wealth out of waste, and particularly the job creation aspects as well as the other social impact. We're keen to go on working with others in this sector too to collectively address a range of incentives that are needed to really transform the waste collection into wealth. So many congratulations to the team at Taka Taka Nimali for what they've done so far. I'd also like to thank Unilever and Ernst & Young, who've been part of the partnership taking this forward, and we look forward to helping it get to even greater scale and deliver greater impact. So well done, Mary and team, and thanks again for letting us be part of it.
There you have it. Thank you so much for those remarks, Tasha from FCDO. In absentia, Jonathan Mutoko from SBM Bank will be represented by Beth, who is in the house as well. And they will tell us what as well they're doing towards this conversation on circularity and sustainability. Karibu sana, Beth, to this podium. Just come this way. And this is where audience to help me appreciate her with a clap as she comes. Karibu sana. There you go.
I'll break all the protocols today and I'll read. Everybody else was speaking, but I'll read because I represent my deputy CEO and I intend to keep my job. So my name is Beth. I come from SBM Bank. SBM stands for State Bank of Mauritius. We are a state bank out of Mauritius. We have presence in Kenya, we have presence in Madagascar, we have presence in India, and obviously our heritage, Mauritius. So we are here because the ESG agenda, the sustainability agenda, is our agenda. And so when Mary came calling, we didn't even think twice. We said we have to partner, and so we are here. Now, I really like your tagline that says, Taka Taka ni mali. Yeah, waste is wealth. So I want to add on to it and say, we don't have to sacrifice a strong economy for a healthy environment, because health is wealth. And so I'm proudly associated. Now, let me take this opportunity to express my gratitude and congratulations to the patron of Taka Taka Nimali Foundation, Mary, who happens to be my friend as well. And thank you for inviting us to be part of this. I'm happy that today's discourse centers on accelerating awareness of technology's role in developing a circular economy and ESG, and as an enabler of the circularity around the different packaging value streams. We at SBM Bank, as I mentioned earlier, are incredibly grateful for the chance to talk about how we can fit into this agenda and how we continue to invest in it. Ladies and gentlemen, a radical transformation in the way we use our natural resources is central to meeting the needs of the future generations. The circular economy is critical to ensuring that the world can continue to develop within its means while preserving its resources for the future. Kenya, as you all know, is one of the fastest growing economies in Africa. And as the economy is growing, so is the population. And so is the waste. So in this regard, we have to shift. It's not even a luxury. We have to shift our thinking to adapting to new waste management practices as the ones that we have seen here, through redesigning, investing, and formulating strategies and policies that help our economy go fully circular. So I'll skip some of the text here and move on into some more practical examples of the things that we are doing. In January this year, SBM Bank announced a 1.6 billion midterm financing facility to B-Box Kenya. And what was this facility for? It was to support the access of affordable solar homes to allow over 470,000 Kenyans get their systems going. Similarly, in October of 2022, the bank sealed a risk-sharing agreement with the Africa Guarantee Fund amounting to USD 10 million to increase its financing to micro, small, and medium-sized enterprises. So I was very happy to see, some of the things that are happening here, because I believe there's a nexus point for which we can be able to just partner and enable them to achieve what matters the most to them. So SME Bank is determined to play its role. So we are here, we are committed to be here, and we are thankful to be here. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much, Beth, and for those remarks as well. And just underlining the word that we actually are talking about here, and Mary alluded to it, partnerships is the way to go, is it? And we are very proud of the fact that you can see areas of synergy that we can have. Up next, so we can close the speech conversations, is an amazing lady who is heading the UN Global Compact Kenya, and that's none other than Judy Njino. A round of applause to her. She is the CEO, Global Compact Executive Director at Global Compact Network Kenya, and she will be giving her remarks. And I must say, on a personal level, they are doing an amazing work as well to ensure corporates are there to this agenda that we're talking about. So one more time, a hand for Judy Njino as she comes to address us.
Thank you very much, Maina, and good afternoon to everyone. Allow me to start by saying how proud I am of you, Mary, and your entire team. And I have to also acknowledge the support system that you have in your family. I have to also acknowledge the fact that when a woman discovers her purpose, it's always natural for her to bring everybody along with her. And for that, we commend you, Mary. I think everybody seated here today really is basically telling you that we are here to support you, we are here to walk the journey with you, and more importantly, we are here to also do our part, because this world belongs to all of us. So from us at the UN Global Compact network here in Kenya, and allow me to start by also noting all protocols observed. We are really proud to join Mary in this conversation and in this journey around circular economy. For those of you who might not know, the UN Global Compact is the world's largest corporate sustainability initiative that's anchored in the UN, and that is mobilizing business to be a force for good. We do have a set of 10 principles around which we mobilize business action around sustainable business conduct. And these issues are classified across 4 key issue areas, touching on human rights, the environment, labor issues, and anti-corruption. And of course, the Sustainable Development Goals, which is a key and a central agenda around which we believe the entire globe should rally around to help us really address some of the world's most pressing challenges, notwithstanding and not least the climate emergency that we are currently faced with. I think even as the conversations at COP27 continue, there's a rallying call that we need to all really accelerate the action around, again, reversing a lot of the negative impacts that we are currently experiencing. And I think it's so key, Mary, that you've really looked and flipped the conversation around waste. And for us to be able to reimagine that we can make something useful out of something that easily we dismiss, I think it's so critical to also begin to change minds, but more importantly, to change hearts, which you've done so well. So for us at the UN Global Compact, we come in this journey with you to really support on the ESG aspects that you touched on earlier, where the world is really demanding more of us as a private sector and as a business community, that you no longer can just focus on maximizing profits, but there's a growing and greater expectation that you should also be able to account for, greater things that touch on the, the social outcomes, the labor outcomes, as well as on the environmental front. So we come to support you in terms of the capacity building of your ecosystem, where you need to access all the tools, the resources, the leading practices around how this agenda is evolving. We are here to support with you all. And so we look forward to embarking on this journey with you. We're also looking forward to working more closely with you to use our platform to also tell the world the stories, and the impacts that we are creating across these particular issues that we are currently grappling with. So we call on you to just tap and engage with us, maximize all the opportunities and the platforms that we have to be able to also inspire further action across the global community. So it's my pleasure to also welcome everybody at this event to plug in with us, to also be able to advance these conversations and to really dial the notch a bit higher when it comes to this issue of waste. So I'll leave it there. I think there's a very robust conversation around this topic that we're about to have, and so I look forward to also listening, to what our other partners are doing and how we can also plug in. So I thank you, and I salute you, Mary.
Absolutely. A round of applause to Judy. Thank you so much for representing Global Compact and the work that you're doing and the partnerships we're talking about here. In the house as well, ladies and gentlemen, please listen keenly. We have KRA in the house, represented by Felgona Ochieng. When KRA is around, all things are okay. So I want to request Felgona to kindly come. Felgona, if you're there, could you kindly come? I want to give you like 2 minutes or so to say something, so that at least we can acknowledge your presence here. So Felgona, try to see where you're coming from. Excellent. Please come this way. And it's important to say we acknowledge when government agencies like this pop in to search, it means they're part and parcel of making Kenya better. And so we appreciate you for really sparing some time. So kindly, karibu sana.
Good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
Thank you. My name is Felgona, and I run the Corporate Social Responsibility Program at Kenya Revenue Authority. One of the things we do is we integrate our CSR with volunteerism. So we have a volunteerism program that we are doing, and we have over 200 staff who have registered in the program. And we also implement our programs through partnerships. And the reason why you're doing this is so that we are able to integrate with the community. You don't meet us when you want your TCC, or you don't meet us after you've gone through university and you're wondering, why should I pay my taxes? So we've been doing this, and we also partner with Taka Taka. So through the volunteerism program, you have a mentorship program for school holidays, and we've implemented this in Soweto, Kibra. We did this in September, so we do a 6-month school holiday program. This is mainly in informal settlements, specifically for primary and high school level and college level. This is essentially to transition you to employment, so that we have skills that we can help you as you transition to employment. By the time you're meeting us, you have a relationship with us. When I call you and you hear Kenya Revenue Authority, don't run away, because that is what happens most of the time. When you hear KRA, someone calls, they go mute, and they don't pick the calls again. Now, with Taka Taka, what you're doing is we want to do a paper recycling project, because we have a lot of paper in our office. And we want to do this so that we're able to support the communities that we are working with in the mentorship program, especially the parents of the students we mentor in the informal settlement. So having said that, I want to thank Mary and her team. They've been collaborating with us and guiding us through this process. And we've already commenced the process. And if you go through the exhibition there, you'll see how our process goes. And from this, we know we are going to be able to have a CSR kitty that we are going to support these projects, because we know government CSR is not really well funded. So that is how we intend to fund our project. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much. Beautiful round of applause as well to Felgona Oching for representing Kerry. I had not prepared this gentleman for this, but I just need a minute from him. He's the Associate Director, Energy, Environment, Climate and Change Pillar at Equity Group Foundation, Eric Naivasha. So kindly, if we could as well get a minute from you. Karibu sana. I know he's a good friend of mine, and I always told him, men are always ready as well. You know, today they have spoken about the ladies when they're given tough things, but you're also ready as well. Karibu sana, Eric as well. Tell us something about what you're doing. I don't know whether the jet lag from COP27 is out, but he had gone to represent us as well. Karibu sana.
Thank you very much. I call him MC.
Yes,
because that's his name. It's not the actual MC. It's his main Chege. Yes, so you so you know I call him MC. So you're a very good friend of mine. And thank you for ambushing me. How many minutes do I have? 2. Okay. I'm here with my colleagues from Equity. Maybe you can just stand and wave. I think we closed the bank today so that we can come and support this great initiative. We are here because we are a friend of the environment. In Equity, we run 2 engines. We have the social engine and the economic engine. So the foundation represents the social engine, where the environment, the clean energy transition, climate change discussions occur, health issues, entrepreneurship, social protection, and all that. And then we have the commercial engine that is the bank. We actually believe that our social agenda is bigger than the commercial agenda. Ours is a do good, do well model. So we start by doing good to society. That's why we educate kids. That's why we are having environment discussions. Profit for us is an outcome of doing good society. So on the environment side, we have a large pillar that looks at energy transitions. We have invested nearly $500 million today in clean energy transitions, in circular economy, in climate smart agriculture, in green buildings and all that, because we believe that organizations of the future are the ones that are taking care of the environment. So we are here because, and thank you, Mary, for inviting us so that we can work together, we can support those initiatives. And we are just discussing when we were going through the journey there, and so, very nice things. And we've agreed that as a foundation, we'll talk to the foundation so that then we're able to support that value chain from the collectors to the SMEs, all of them. We are going to offer them free training so that they are able to organize the economic life. They can even expand their businesses. And we've already invested quite significantly, nearly $100 million in the circular economy, in recycling of plastics and all that. So that's an area that we're going to work together, count on our support. And also, even your other bigger business, you're going to support those value chains and ecosystems. I think there's something that you really said which is very important on the traceability of your waste, which is very important. And even as Equity, we are also trying to look at, our scope one. Plastics is a product of fossil fuels, and the kind of thing they are doing to the environment. So as a bank, we are also looking at our own emissions. We are looking at our own waste, and partnering with different stakeholders. And I'm very happy now that we are going to partner with you even as a bank going forward in terms of our own waste management across our value chains. So I think I'll end it there because Maina, you gave me 2 minutes. Yeah. And I think I'm done. Thank you very much, and thanks again, Mary, for this initiative. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Eric. A round of applause to him as well. Thank you so much for really telling us what you're doing around there.
It's good we are here, not in Egypt.
Oh, yeah. It's good that we are here, not in Egypt. Eh?
Yes.
Yes.
I know I'm saying that.
Okay. He has a story from Egypt. I know he came from there, and we appreciate that. It's also good to have the financial representatives in the financial sector really coming in here to tell us more about this. I've seen some other people coming in and just want to acknowledge. Flora, I have seen you. Hi. Yeah, I just wanted to say Flora Mutahi is here, the chair KEPSA as well, and founder Melvin Stee. Thank you so much. We want to transition to an interesting time where we want to hear some of the stakeholders here, and I wanted to request that the panelists get ready. And this session, I want to request Alfred to kindly come very quickly, and my team, my gentlemen, to just bring up quickly 5 seats here, for this amazing session, panel discussion on matter circularity, on consumer behavior and the role of technology, for an amazing session here. Please, Alfred.
Ladies and gentlemen, good afternoon. Good afternoon. Let me start by asking a question. How many of us wanted to be in Egypt for COP27? Wanted. Lakini kwa sababu ambazo hazikuepukika, we are here, right? Tuko hapa. So we are going to have our own discussion here, just the same as COP. And the topic we are discussing here is the same topic that is being discussed at COP. And the 2 panels that are coming up are going to discuss the same. So ladies and gentlemen, all protocols observed, good afternoon. We are going to invite our panelists, and before I do that, I'll introduce myself. My name is Alfred Osiko. I'm a Senior Manager, Market Engagement for Climate Tech at the GSMA. I'm based out of the Nairobi office, sitting together with the Sub-Saharan Africa team. So, without further ado, we'll invite our panelists up front, And I will start with Valentine Cheriot from Safaricom. Valentine Cheriot is a climate and environment lead at Safaricom. A round of applause as she comes up. Next, we'll invite David Ongare. David Ongare is a compliance director at NEMA. Karibu sana, David. Round of applause. Next, we invite Georgina Washuka. Georgina Washuka is from the Kenya Association of Manufacturers. She is representing the regulatory and compliance team. Karibu sana, Georgina. Round of applause for Georgina. We also have representation from Petco. Petco, we have the country manager, Joyce Gashugi. Welcome, Joyce. A round of applause for Joyce. I know you're asking who's the last person. There's one more seat. Ladies and gentlemen, allow me to welcome from GeoCycle, Janet Ruto. Janet Ruto is the business development manager. Welcome, Janet. A round of applause for Janet as she comes up. Sorry. Thank you. I think I'll not be standing behind them. I will come to the front. Do you have other microphones for the panelists, please? Thank you. So this session, we are going to focus on circularity and the nexus between circularity and consumer behavior. But again, sorry, a bit of housekeeping. So we're going to look at the nexus between circularity and consumer behavior. But again, we are also going to focus on what is the role of technology in enabling the circularity environment. And so we are going to have the first round, and it's going to be an introduction, and you tell us what is your organization doing about circularity. But then as you figure out about that, I will pick on the only gentleman here so that we ensure that we are on the same page. And so that goes to the government. What is circularity? Help us to break it down so that we are all on the same page.
Thank you very much. I believe circularity is the concept of cradle to cradle, isn't it? And therefore we keep materials flowing in the ecosystem for as long as possible, and therefore we minimize the mining of virgin materials from earth. And therefore between these two statements there are lots of things that need to be done for that to be realized. Thank you.
Thank you. So we are all in the same page. So circularity is not a food, is not a place, is not the name of a person. We now know what you're talking about. So we are going to have the first round, starting with Joyce. Tell us what your organization is doing in this space, circularity.
Thank you, Alfred. So I represent a company known as Petco, and that's our trademark name. We are actually registered as the Kenya PET Recycling Company. And we are actually a business member organization, which means we represent other companies and brand owners, some of whom are in the audience today. And specifically, these are companies that are packaging their products in PET plastic. Could be bottles, could be containers, or anything else. What we're doing for circularity is to ensure that their products are collected and recycled post-consumer. But more importantly is to drive consumer and industry awareness, trying to change consumer behavior. First, to understand that the material is actually recyclable, number one. Number two, it can actually be reused. You don't have to discard everything simply because you've used it. And that's one of the components of circular economy. So thank you very much.
Thank you, Joyce. Next, CAM.
Thank you very much. From CAM, where we come in is that we've been having a lot of initiatives where we actually mainstreaming circularity in the manufacturing processes. We have the CAM consultancy unit, which has the Center for Energy Efficiency, and it's also taking up green growth and circular economy. So through the processes, we're able to capacity build our members on processes that encompass circularity, where we focus on saving energy, water management and waste management. So there's so many initiatives around that.
Thank you. I will skip the only gentleman and go to Safaricom.
For Safaricom, we've got two pillars. For the first one, of course, is so for Safaricom, we've got two pillars. So the internal pillar is to ensure that Safaricom manages waste in a way that we minimize the impact of the waste on the environment. So we have got about two categories of waste that we really focus on. So there is the electronic waste coming from our network, because we are a telecommunication company. There is a lot of waste that comes from our network in terms of upgrading, building, and even decommissioning our site. So we ensure that as we generate that waste, we transportation and all that. Thank you.
Thank you.
Yeah. Yes.
We are back. We are back. So, geocycle.
Yes, so probably I can bring people to speed on who is geocycle basically. I know in Kenya we are not known very well,
But we are an arm of Bamburi Cement. And so when I mention Bamburi, I think everybody will be wondering, what does Bamburi has to do with waste management? But actually, we are big players in terms of recycling and circular economy in terms of dealing with waste. And one of the biggest, now maybe I can speak of Bamburi, is the construction waste. I know we don't think about the construction waste, but construction waste is one of the biggest challenges that we face in the country. So that is one of the biggest, we give a building a new life by using the materials that come from the construction waste in our process. So by that, then we stop or we reduce the use of natural resources, or in terms of like mining the natural resources. But more than that, when you look at waste in general, and this is from plastics up to hazardous waste, we are big players in terms of reusing those waste in our process so that we can reduce the use of fossil fuel and the natural resources.
Thank you. Very good insights from different sectors on what they're doing on circularity. I'll come back to government agency NEMA, who is with us, regulator, and we'd like to ask you, or probably you paint for us the landscape, what government is doing as far as circularity is concerned.
Thank you very much. As I mentioned, I work for the National Environment Management Authority, and we use, ordinarily in my day-to-day life, I'm a supporter of a football team called Gor Mahia. But also, last week I was introduced to something called Formula One, and I see people using tires called hard tires, medium, soft. So we use all of those. In the hard tire space, we have fought with everyone here. We banned things, we have banned plastics. Another time we tried and removed some structures from riparian land. And it has been a very, very difficult thing because these are areas, enterprises which employ a lot of people. So it is not the only way to go, but sometimes it is necessary. And therefore, all these accolades that the country is receiving about plastics was because of taking some bold decisions. We appreciate the fact that it was not easy, but now that has also created spaces for innovation, and we are also now good friends with those in the manufacturing sector. So we look at it at some point you have to make these decisions, and government does that through policy and through regulations. And at the moment we are also trying to look at the extended producer responsibility regulations so that people take duty of care for the waste they produce. And a producer is not just a manufacturer, even an importer, even a seller is a producer. So this will help to close these loops because the people who bear the burden of waste are the marginalized, as everyone knows, and pollution. And therefore I really wish this session was taking place in the dump site, because I'm sure you would not go back with these suits. You probably send them to the laundry or something to be cleaned or throw them away. So we also try to influence behavior from neighborhoods. We work with the Kenya Alliance of Residents Associations. We're also working with the Kenya National Cleaner Production Center for those enterprises which want to comply but need ideas on how they can do that. We also support them with ideas and support them along the compliance pathway without necessarily enforcing. Thank you.
Thank you, David. And I hear you say that it is important for all of us to take cognizance that whenever you're done with any material, using any material, do we know where it's going? And what is our responsibility after that? Thank you. I'll come back to Safaricom. As a mobile network operator, you are doing a very good job on sustainability. And I remember you are the first to integrate the Sustainable Development Goals in your operations and strategies. And we've seen you go on making commitments and reporting in your sustainability report annually. Just out of interest and curiosity, why does an MNO find it necessary, or what is the compelling reason for an MNO to engage in waste management or circularity?
say we engage in waste management for two things. So the first is, of course, it's a good thing to do. Yeah. If you look at UN report of 2019, it talks about the statistics on electronic waste, and it talked of has globally having produced about 51 million tons of electronic waste. Of that waste, only 20% got recycled. And all of us understand that electronic waste is the most hazardous waste, at the same time is the fast growing stream of waste globally. And it has made a projection that by the year 2050, we are going to have about 120 million tons of electronic waste. So it's a good thing to do because we need to protect the environment, we need to protect the health of the people. So we've engaged this because we are concerned about the health and the health of the people and the environment. Secondly, I would say it's a business opportunity. It gives us an opportunity to innovate solutions that can help us create efficiencies around waste management. If you look at what we've done at Safaricom, we are looking at having an application around e-waste where we can create awareness about what are the drop-off points for electronic waste and how can you channel that electronic waste to us so that we can manage that waste on your behalf. Yeah.
Thank you. And is this with focus in waste from other sectors as well?
Yes.
Thank you. So coming to the Kenya Association of Manufacturers, Washuka, you're from the regulatory and public policy. Give us a feel of how policy looks like in the manufacturing space and relating to consumer behavior as well.
Thank you very much. And I want to pick it up from where Mr. Ongare has left it off. We had this very unstable environment in the country where we heard of the ban. There were so many conversations that were coming, and all of them were sort of coming and gearing towards the manufacturing sector. Nobody was seeing the consumer in the house, but everybody, when they look at their garbage, they would only see the producer who actually made that product, not what was consumed or how it was disposed. And that made us go back and just have this conversation with government. And we said, look, there are people who have actually invested in this, and there's an opportunity where we can have this conversation better to secure the business, the jobs and everything, whilst we are looking at our environment. And we had that conversation. You know, there are so many gaps that were there. There was the talk about biodegradable bags and everything. But when you look keenly and deeply, we really didn't have a lot of policy or regulation or standards or guidelines just to help us navigate through that process. So we had this conversation with government, and we started with the plastics space, where we developed a plastics action plan, just to first of all see and test the waters. How can we manage this waste management, and plastics now being a glaring problem? So with the action plan, we actually talked to government, developed a framework of cooperation, where we'd actually have this conversation with government regularly through reports, just share what the manufacturers are doing, what efforts we'd like to put into collecting, what innovation, what space. And that conversation went on and on until we thought, now, no, we need a more, you know, a more sustainable way of managing this. And now we came up with the National Sustainable Waste Management Policy, which was passed in 2021. We want to appreciate that this policy, and of course the act that came after, these were industry driven, so that we could actually secure the space that we were in, to ensure that as much as we are doing our business, we're also taking responsibility for the environment. And with that, we were happy. These were some of the legislations that have moved quite fast. The ministry, mother ministry, the environment ministry was very supportive. We worked with our NEMA team and other stakeholders, PETCO and everybody. So it was very industry driven, very private sector driven. And what we put in that law is something that we knew we could actually do and deliver. And out of that, we had the EPR regulations, where we started drafting, thinking, okay, now, since all of us are responsible in this space of waste management, how do we bring in everybody into this space? So the EPR regulations were developed. We had these discussions from the producers, anybody bringing material into the country, you know, the consumers, the governments, both at national and county. So everybody is actually playing a role in that regulation. And that regulation through the conversations or as we were developing it, we started putting together and seeing what our pain areas in terms of waste management. What can we quickly look at to minimize the impact of waste or whatever is happening from the industrial processes into our environment. And the regulation actually provides for like 5 categories of waste management, which have actually been turned. If you look at the model in which the APR regulations is looking at, it's promoting circularity. It's promoting issues of reduction in, just speaking from the natural, but trying to utilize what you can within. So issues like product redesign, refurbishing, all those R's that keep evolving. So they're all sort of considered in the EPR regulation. And as CAM, we've actually been able, with the partners here and stakeholders who are also in this setup, we've actually started the conversation of setting up the producer responsibility organizations that have been envisaged in those regulations. So far, we have 3. We have the first one, which is KEPRO, and they work closely with the PETCO team here. And they came in first, they were managing the plastics, but with the regulations, they'll be going out to also manage the cans, the plastic, the paper packaging materials, any non-hazardous packaging material. The second category is actually looking at what we have in the hazardous. Remember, we have the pesticides, we have the paints, we have the medicine. There's a lot of packaging in that place, and all this kind of packaging is sort of contaminated. So there's a PRO that is actually going to be working around that, just seeing how those things are collected, what can be recycled, what can be reused, and all henceforth, all that. The other one that we've actually taken on seriously, because it's in our day-to-day, everybody has a phone here, there's a lot of electrical equipment, everything is, electronic. So we have also started supporting the one of electric and electronic waste. We are working with Simeon from Waste Center and other stakeholders. So we are happy, and NEMA here. So it's quite a journey, and we appreciate the approach that we have taken this time, because it's not more of the government running after us, but this is more of private sector trying to transform itself in the process in circularity. So through this process, we are seeing a lot of innovation. We are happy and proud. Mary came in as an SME at CAM, and now she's grown. She's our girl, and we are happy to have grown with her, and many other SMEs and businesses that we have seen them grow. So we're also seeing a lot of research. We're seeing a lot of youth getting into this space, and I think the sky's the limit. There's a lot of business. The PROs are going to open a lot of business.
Thank you.
I know there are 2 that we've not touched on that is going to address the automobiles, including the aircrafts and all that, to the end of life. So that one is still a work in progress. So anybody who's looking at a business opportunity, there you go. You can start putting together that group. And the other one is where the construction waste is not so fatally hazardous, but it also needs to be managed because it also consumes a big chunk in our environment.
Thank you. You're seated next to government. We expected government to do that. It's all right. We move a little bit faster to PETCO. You believe in one slogan: do one thing, recycle. Yeah? And it's good that Washuka's touched on consumer behavior, how it influences manufacturers and how they do the products, packaging, and all that. What are some of the unique consumer behaviors that influence that ecosystem of circularity?
Thank you. So consumer behavior influences production, which is really what manufacturers do. But I would say when it comes to plastic specifically, is around fast, on-the-go type of consumption. Today, you and I, we want to have our packed lunch. We want to grab a bottle of water for my safari. We want to be able to take water to visit a patient in hospital. And more importantly and closer to home, in our own homes today, we don't have access to clean potable water. So we actually need a clean bottle of water to drink. Okay, because most homes are not going to afford the water filters, that you can be able to install, and so that's one set of unique behavior. First, on-the-go consumption, but secondly, of course, is the element of cost. which of course has driven the Kadogo economy as you know it. And so you'll see the size of packaging reducing in terms of maybe you have now 150 ml of water, could be your Blue Band now comes in a smaller pack. And with that, then how does that influence circularity? One, from a collection perspective, we have more material that is being put into the environment. So today, if for instance, as opposed to maybe a 2-liter bottle of Coca-Cola, for example, you have smaller bottles being put into the market. The water that is on our tables right now, why are we not sharing 2 bottles of water, for instance? It's because everyone, consumer behavior dictates, I want my own bottle of water. And it's just the way it is. And so we have more waste going into the landfills, which then now, as from a circularity perspective, is how do we divert that into recycling or reuse? Another issue is we have more types of material that are being produced to keep in line with consumer satisfaction. And a lot of the materials are not necessarily recyclable. And for instance, you have the sachets, a lot of sachets. Before, milk used to maybe be in your Tetra Pak. Today we have a lot of milk in sachet packets. And it's because of the consumer behavior demanding for that. And so you find that a lot of the packaging that's being used now to kind of keep consumers comfortable is actually not as recyclable or as collectible to be recovered by collectors. And so it poses a challenge to circularity. What that means is we need to mobilize more capital to put into the value chain to be able to recover this material to keep it in the circular economy.
Thank you. As we wrap up, because of time, we'll open to 2 questions from the audience. But before we do that, I'll ask the mobile network operators, what is the role of technology in circularity?
So briefly, I will say, of course, Carol had mentioned that they are developing an application that people will be able to trade in the waste that they've collected. So as technology company, we connect people to network. So we have got about, for example, for Safaricom, we've got about 42 million customers in our network. So if you can explore that to see that the customers that you serve are able to trade in waste in that platform, the better. The other thing is that there's digitization. With technology, you have an opportunity to digitize your processes. Say, for example, for Safaricom, way back in 2017, most of the information around waste management, you could get them through Excel sheets or database. But at the moment, we've been able to digitize that, such that we are able to get data in a real time. Say, for example, if they've collected a waste today and they've recycled this amount, you are able to get that data in real time, and you're able to do some analysis and get some insights out of that, and you're able to make some decision based on that. We've also been able, you've heard Safaricom is deploying 5G. So with 5G, there is an aspect of artificial intelligence, and there's the aspect of IoT, Internet of Things. And we've been able to test these through other environmental issues. Say, for example, water management, where we partnered with water management agencies, and we're able to deploy sensors that are able to detect leakages and also automate some billing. So with waste management, I see an opportunity where we can have the same sensors installed. Say, for example, if you want to go and collect bottles, for the case of Joyce, where you're supposed to go and collect bottles, say, for example, in a particular estate, but you're not able to tell if that dustbin or whatever it is full. How about if you put sensors, say that that sensor can give you information and say, hey, here, the waste is full, so kindly organize for collection. That in itself will be able to address issues of efficiency and all that. Yeah.
Thank you. So that means IoT, blockchain, and all that have a place in the future. Thank you. I'll break protocol a bit, and I'll invite a gentleman from Airtel, because we are talking about mobile network operators. From Airtel to tell us something, what are they doing? They did their first sustainability report recently. It's the maiden report, and they are coming up blazing in that space. So please.
Thank you, Alfred, for inviting me. My name is Evans Ouma from Airtel Africa. Airtel Africa is the parent company for Airtel Kenya. We oversee 14 countries where Airtel operates. So we did our first sustainability report this year, and it was a joy to see how much or what contribution, what we can do by understanding what goes out of our economy as a telco in terms of waste, and how we can contribute to changing it and making this world a better place. Just to talk about the contribution of telcos in the waste management, I think the universe of telcos is unlimited. Just to remember, the other day somebody sent in a viral tweet. I don't know whether it's a tweet or a video. Says, Murife, don't run. And I got my friend from the US sending it to me that, Evans, what is this? I'd not even seen it here. That tells you the power of telco. I mean, if you have a smartphone in your hand, you can do much. We can do much with data, with information, drive the sustainability agenda, waste management agenda. I mean, the universe is unlimited. Thank you.
Thank you, Evans. Sincere appreciation. So, ladies and gentlemen, I'm told due to time, we will not be able to ask questions. But then if you have questions, the panelists are here. Our great and fantastic panelists are still here. You can have a chat with them. We'll stay behind after this and the next one. So thank you so much, and let us appreciate our panelists.
Thank you so much, Alfred, and thank you so much, our panelists. If you have any questions to a specific one, you can see them aside for that. And just a quick announcement, KBR 684Y. You have blocked someone, so if you could kindly go and assist them, KBR 684Y. I want to invite Michael Kalu. Where are you, sir? Michael, where are you? Michael, are you around? Where are you? Is it you? Michael, I'm just going once, twice. Is he around? Michael Kalu? You know, you never know. Maybe there was a word here. You never know what's happening here. It would be important if he came very fast, very fast. Okay, I think he's on the go. He's on the go. Okay. Now, everybody, please be upstanding right now, because we understand sometimes when cocktails are sinking in, meat is sinking in, a lot of things are sinking in. I just had very hard terminologies like MNOs are sinking in, courtesy of the panelists and all those things. You're wondering what's happening. So the mix can be some serious cocktail that you don't understand. Is Michael here yet? Okay, no worries. I think I will, just don't try this at home, what I'm trying to do, because it's not coordinated very well. DJ, could you kindly try and do something? Please, in the table there, I want you to just shake your legs a little bit, like on the move. Just do it. Just do it. It's okay. Just do like me. Like me. There you go. All right. Hands in there a little bit. To the left. To the right. Make sure you bend a bit. To the left as you shake a little with a bit. To the right. Are we together? To the left. There you go. To the right. Okay, now with the legs both happening with the legs. Come on. Just do it like you've been in. There you go. I love this. This is the best winner. All right. Thank you, DJ. Thank you, DJ. Thank you, DJ. Thank you, DJ. You can have your seats. It was just a way of ensuring, since we are talking about circular economy, that the blood as well circulates well, which is important, right? Can you hear guys asking, how did you see me? It's okay. It's okay. You did well. You did well. Ladies and gentlemen, I can assure you will have enough time for cocktails. I've just been assured by the stewards that it's a lot. So I just know that we're about to close this. But please allow me to talk about money. Talk about what? Money. How do you get this money? And we have a session here on green financing and the role of technology. You can't imagine how some people have been waiting for that. It's okay. Now you can take out your notebooks. It's fine, because now the money is in the house. And I want to request very fast, can I have Wellington Abongo, branch manager JKIA at KCB, please come right now, please. There you go. This is the man with the money. Don't worry, all is well, all is well. We also SMA, and the only PhD research climate adaptation finance holder. PhD, my goodness, this is where you clap that we have people who are in this session. There you go. In Kenya, not the only one here, in Kenya. My goodness, I just got it right. There you go. Eric Wambua as well, Director Corporate Affairs, Banking at SBM is right here. That gentleman said he will not have any cocktail until he speaks about the money, which is good. And then we have as well KEPSA represented by Ebenezer Madi. I think I'd seen Ebenezer around. Ebenezer, are you here? There you go. I think he's still networking. Where's Ebenezer? Please, somebody get me Ebenezer. I can see you. I know you are checking on whether those things are real. They are. Please come over as well. And in absentia, we had a representative from World Bank, Lillian, who just had a quick emergency and is not here with us. But ladies and gentlemen, please, this is very important. I would like your engagement on this just in the next very quick 15 minutes. So panelists, I request that we be as brief as we can because, you know, when cocktails are waiting, things sometimes happen. So turn to the person sitting next to you and tell them, shh. There you go. There you go. Just so that we can have this attention. And I want to start with KCB. We're talking about green climate financing. What is it? What is it?
Yeah, with the introduction, I'm Wellington, the branch manager KCB at JKIA. Now, when we talk of green financing, this is a place where the banks will offer finances to projects and businesses or enterprises that engage in activities that are eco-friendly and those that promote reuse and recycle, those that promote efficiency, and even those that are looking at the sustainable environment in their operations.
Thank you so much. That's a very good definition. And sorry, sometimes I'm a teacher. I hope you got it, what green financing is, because I'm about to ask one table to help me define that. I'm not pointing at anyone, but this is very important because this is where the rubber meets the road. Let me come to another bank as well in the house, SBM, and I would like you to sort of elaborate on that conversation on responsible banking. And the question for you is, how can commercial banks, you being one of them, and investment banks take more action to mainstream sustainable development? I'd like you to elaborate on that as well.
Okay. Thank you. As you heard, my name is Eric Wambua. I take care of corporate banking at SBM Bank. So straight to the question, I think the climate change agenda is no longer a myth. If the drought that we are going through currently is something to go by. So there's a lot of importance on innovation around entrepreneurship that will come up with climate-sensitive enterprises that do not encourage carbon emissions, for example. The president at COP27 spoke about e-mobility, about smart agriculture, about green buildings. So all these are innovative ideas that require some form of funding. So for banks, what we're looking at, we need to partner with such entrepreneurs who are looking at doing climate-friendly investments. And there are two ways to do this. So one way to do it is partnering with DFIs who will give you funding that is tailor-made to lend or to lend to such enterprises. And this has benefits because it's slightly cheaper than your normal funding that you'll get out of the deposit that we hold against commercial banks. The other way is for commercial banks existing to set aside a fund that will be geared towards supporting such. So the importance of this then is to make sure that we walk the talk as banks. We have a responsibility as financiers to make sure that what we are financing will continue to build the agenda of making sure that we are supporting the initiatives around making sure that environment is not only good for ourselves, but for the generations that are there to come. Thank you.
Thank you so much for that. And we appreciate the work that you're doing. Let me speak to the only lady in the panel as well. And one of the quick questions for you is about the entry points for mobile and digital technology in green financing. I'd like you to tell us where is it at for the sake of the people who are here and would like to tap into that.
So green financing for the longest time has been seen as a very high level conversation, but it's coming down to us in terms of how can you make it more accessible. So when you're talking about mobile and digital technology, you're talking about the access, but also the delivery of green financing, and not just to, you know, the financial institutions, but then to the very local underserved communities. And that's where the role of mobile and digital technology comes in. And particularly the very many entry points, but one that I would want to reiterate today is about data. When you're talking about financing, you have to talk about data, because then what are you financing? That's the question. But the issue that we have in Africa, and particularly even Kenya today, is the fact that we don't have data. And if that data is there, then it's very disaggregated data. It's all over the place, so we don't have a common ground, common methodology. Everyone comes up with their own format. It's very bespoke to the sectors. So you'd find that in waste it's very different from NRM, rightly so, but that has implications. And I think where we're going, and even the conversation in COP, we're looking at how do we merge these methodologies to be, you know, convergent, or they can converge to collect the right data. And I think that's one of the very important, I think that has been even said by Safaricom in terms of the data. They use the data to make decisions. So how do you negate data? But then it's very diluted. When you say data, it's like, come on. But it is the core when you're talking about financing.
All right, thanks for that. Data-driven decisions, that's very important, and we thank you for what you guys are doing. Let's get to KEPSA, and the quick question for you is, how can Kenya, and I saw the chair here, I'm sure you have exchanged notes, how can Kenya create this collaborative ecosystem that promotes sustainable development, and what are the benefits, very quickly?
Thank you very much for inviting me here. So I think looking at, if you talk about the ecosystem, there are different levels of enablers. For example, we can start with policies that then support businesses to engage in investments, in green investments. If you look at the market, is the market geared towards the green financing? You know, one thing that comes to mind when you talk about green financing is not about the legal tender itself, but it's about the criteria that the financial institutions or the markets creates to ensure that businesses then invest in green solutions, innovations, and that's one way that the country will be able to move to green investments. So that's a benefit. If you look at it from a different perspective, again, we talk about climate change. So if you have green investments, then there's an opportunity for the country to reduce greenhouse gas emissions, right? You just saw the president is very keen on ensuring that we're able to reduce our emissions. And actually, there's also an initiative which moved from a target of about 2 billion trees to about 15 billion trees in the next 15 years. And the other part, again, if you look at the NDCs, then the country targets to be able to reduce the greenhouse gas emissions by 32% by 2030. So all the plans that are there are quite ambitious, but one thing that is very important is also to plug in the private sector. So if you look at the people that, or in the country, I mean, the level of investment comes in heavily from the private sector. And one group that we always do forget are SMEs. I know Honorable David is very enthusiastic about SMEs. I mean, SME is always forgotten. If you look at the dynamics, I mean, you can talk about the 80-20 rule in terms of 20% of the players create 80% of the GDP. But I mean, if you look at the numbers, then the 20% create about 90% of the businesses in Kenya. So it's a constituent that should be looked into. So focusing on financing, especially green financing that will be able to support SMEs, is also very critical. That's where you get the jobs. I mean, you talked about benefits. So let me leave it there because I might go on and on and on.
Yeah, I know you. I know you can go on. So let's talk to the financier in the house, because I know when we spoke about the World Bank and IFC, they come to you, give you the funds, so that all these guys here can access the money. This is why you pay attention, because KCB is about to tell you the secret to getting that money. So what are the conditions that must be met for corporations, not only the big corporations, but even as MSMEs, to access the fund?
Thank you very much. Now, I'm glad you've mentioned the focus on MSMEs, because for a very long time, sustainability agenda has been thought to be a thing for the corporates and it rests at the policy level. But we realize that the final consumers of whatever products which are being churned out there, they get themselves within the purview of the MSMEs. And MSMEs form the base that builds the economy. And so, as Honorable David usually puts it, is that you support Mama Mboga, then that Mama Mboga will support Safaricom. So it's kind of the bottom-up approach, but not politically. So for the banks, for us, we focus today majorly on the MSMEs. For example, as KCB, we focused like for the FLME project that is led by female. We launched a project that's led by female, but the focus on that
Just
was
post there, FF what? Can you explain it in full?
FLME.
Yes. Okay.
It means that it is female-led and made enterprise.
Oh. Excuse me, how many ladies do we have in the house who need financing from KCB? I just want to see by show of hands, do we have any that need, oh, even you, Judy. All right, I see.
Yeah, so you can see me
you
after
have
this.
it. It's an entry.
All
Okay,
right.
so see him after this.
After this, yes. So the FLME, we call it Flame, Fund My Flame. It was launched on the 28th of October. And this is to focus on the women, and it was tagged to sustainability and the green financing. It's because it is realized that women are more keen into the sustainable agenda. And number two, women, they plug into the family wallet. So any finance that goes that direction, you will cover a long stretch. Now, one of the, and I'm a man, so we are not threatened. But what we are focusing on is, number one, the business you are engaging in must speak to the sustenance of the ecosystem. You must support recycling, because as a bank or as financiers, we also churn out waste, electronic waste, paper waste, and therefore we also contribute to the degradation of the ecosystem. And so we have to partner to make sure that we go back to the green agenda. So one of the things is that whatever enterprise you are involved in must speak to the fact that you sustain the ecosystem. Number two, we talked about efficiency. You know, in terms of water usage, in terms of energy, we talk of e-mobility, which was launched. And so you have to be part of that path. So, for instance, in the manufacturing sector, you know, that's where most people have the challenges, because there are a lot of waste which is being churned out. We cannot stop the waste from being churned because it's a process. It's a product of a process. But then how do you bring it back to the economy? Now, what we have done is that when we are doing the credit model and we are rating our clients, then the clients who speak to the green agenda will get financing at lower rates.
Okay.
And the conditions that naturally and ordinarily are tied to the financing, some of those conditions are now being reduced. Okay. Just to encourage enterprises to go green, so that when we do at the level of the MSME and everybody goes green, we'll have cheaper financing, which will not be stressed to repay, and they will come repeatedly, and we shall be able to sustain environment.
Okay, thank you. Well put. Just to confirm, men as well can come through, is it?
Yes.
Okay, yeah, just checking.
And maybe just a clarification.
Yeah.
On the female-led enterprise, it's not a female exclusive.
Oh.
But as a man, you can tag along.
Tag along. Get a partner. Thank you. Let me come to the same sector, banks, SBM, and I know you can, I'm sure you have a comment on that, but I would also want you to as well tell us, how are you as the banking sector, you know, preparing for the future, and what is the future we are seeing on green financing? Please.
Good, thank you. So I think let me start where my colleague has stopped. It's very, very important, as I mentioned, as banks to embrace our responsibility. As long as banks do not embrace responsible lending when it comes to environment, I think we will be shooting ourselves in the foot. So it's very important as we look at transactions, and I'll tell you, as my colleague Beth, when we were looking at transactions such as B-Box that we did this year, I've also seen my client here who's doing very good job in solar. So it's very critical that when you look at when you're lending, where your money is going to, is it going to speak to the climate agenda? So to your point and to your question, the future of green financing is very bright. It's as banks, we cannot avoid it. It's the only route to go because we have to work with partners. As mentioned, for us to have funding from our partners, we have to embrace it. And secondly, with all this innovation around e-mobility, as I was talking about, smart agriculture, these enterprises require funding. So banks have to position themselves to do this. And I like something that was mentioned from KEPSA on policy. This is where I would call upon our good friends from KRA and our regulators, CBK, to give incentives to the banks so that then we are able, out of these incentives, to transfer that benefit to the entrepreneurs who are engaging in environment-friendly enterprises. That then starts
This is where you clap, guys. This is a very important point. Carrie is in the house and they're listening.
Yes, so thank you very much. So it starts to speak to the benefit that we as banks can then transfer and will motivate the entrepreneurs out there, because if I go to SBM today and I have an agenda or I have a proposal that is speaking to the climate agenda, sustainability agenda, I get 50, 150, 200 basis points off the interest rate. It will motivate me. So for us as banks, we have to embrace this. We have to align ourselves, but some little support from the stakeholders, the KRA, our regulators, would go a long way in ensuring that we walk the talk together. Thank you.
Awesome. Let me come to you as well to address this issue of just mobile technology on GSMA. And my question to you is, do you have any resources that we would speak more on mobile and digital technology as far as green financing is concerned, and what resources is this targeting?
Yeah, as we speak, I am leading a research on the role of mobile and digital technology in access and delivery of climate finance in low, middle and income countries, that is in Asia, but in the African markets. And some of the things that are coming up is, for example, you had Safaricom talking about the use of IoT. IoT are basically sensors. So how can you use sensors to collect data immediately? Because with financing, you need precise data. So IoT, we're looking at how mobile money can be used in terms of payouts, in terms of also as incentives is saying, because where we are going now, if you integrate mobile and digital technology for that precision, I am sure a lot of us have heard a lot about the carbon markets. This is the future, because the carbon markets need precision. Without that precision, then the carbon markets cannot be there, because any alteration within the carbon market, it dilutes the market. So the height of precision is where we are going in terms of climate financing. We've been talking a lot about impact, but impact, how can you make it tangible? See the business value of it. But then what makes that business value? What shows it's not the money, it's the data that you have impacted this number of people. This number of people are accessing this amount of funds. A little bit on carbon markets. I think there's a lot of interest as I was walking in terms of the carbon markets. But even the waste, because there's also the plastic credits that are coming up. What is this? Recently at COP27, our president actually just launched the Africa Climate Market Initiative. What does this mean? It means the carbon market is coming to us. It means that the Mama Mboga is going to get paid because she is choosing a different life that would make climate change a reality. So if you are plowing or doing agriculture in a particular way and you decide to do it differently, then you're paid for it. This is where we are going. So climate financing is moving from the DFIs, from developing to developed, or from developed to developing, to me and you. What can we do? And you'll be paid for it. So the systems are in place now.
Wow, I think we should have clapped to that, because I mean that's good news, definitely, for anybody even who is watching us live. That listen, si lazima ukuole mse bazoo. You know those kind of guys. Sorry, they're not here, but you get what I mean. Now, I think I want to close this session by asking KEPSA, because you have a lot of people who sign up to you. We have SMEs under your care, and I know Meringechi as well has worked big time with the SME sector as well. A lot of people. And by the way, FYI, that is for your information. This particular center, I love the fact that you've spoken about data, will help you in capacity building. We're talking about building capacity for yourself as an aggregator, collector, anything that you are. Wewe mse wa kuchukua taka na uko na kadha kadha. This place, come here, visit it. You'll be given all the resources you need to at least have that capacity to come to KCB and tell them that you need money, right? What do you tell government? I think I want to throw that question that way to you. What do you tell government as well to build, so for us to enable this ecosystem? Is there anything legislative or government-based that you would advise them to do as KEPSA?
I'm going to give you a very hard question because I will come with a list of 20 things that I will tell the government. But let me pick one.
Pick one.
Because I talk about data. Data is very key. And you see, data is used in different ways. So I was taught that data are just the numbers, but information is processed data. So you are supposed to use data to make decisions. That's called the decision support system. And for you to be able to interpret the data, you must have also the knowledge. So that's one part we should be able to look at. Because just recently we were I watched the TV and someone was talking about the per capita waste generated in Kenya. And ideally it says it's 0.5 kgs. But the translation, since in the water sector, they were saying that every human produces 0.5 kg of waste. The interpretation there was very different. If you talk about the sanitation side. So we have to look for a way for us to get the correct data and help us to make the right decision. For example, we're conducting a study in Zimbabwe, Zambia, Malawi. Generally, if you look at the three countries, I think that's also the same for Kenya. Organic waste produced accounts for about 55 to 60%. And then ideally you go into plastics, metal, and others. So that will ideally help us to valorize some of this waste that you're seeing. And also the other thing, the policies that are there are quite good. Just recently, I think 2 months ago, we had the National Sustainable Waste Management Act and policy. I was almost saying bill because it took so long. And we were used to saying that, bill and policy, so it's the act. So that in itself, it's a catalyst to help the businesses now to shift because they know that their strategy will be in tandem with the policy and the laws.
You back because these panelists are still with us around, so if you have any questions, please send it in. Ladies and gentlemen, please put your hands together for my great panel that was here for helping us understand finances. Thank you so much for really...
And before we leave, let me just say congratulations to Taka Taka for what they're doing.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. I was almost concerned you wanted a selfie, but thank you so much. We appreciate that, and thank you so much for your session. Ladies and gentlemen, we are just about. But before then, I want to request Joe Sunday, Director Corporate Affairs, Communications and Sustainability at Unilever, to kindly come and briefly say something, and then that will be the one that ushers in our final speech of the day. Karibu sana, Joe Sunday. Yeah, and I know we look like we are well organized here, but because the cameras are facing you, I want you to speak from that amazing podium. Karibu sana.
Thank you, Maina. Thank you so much. And I think you put me at a very awkward situation between guys and the cocktail, but I'll do my best. So there were a couple of engineers and PhD holders here, so I want to start by a caveat that I'm not an engineer, but my name is Joe Sunday. I take care of corporate affairs, sustainable business and communication at Unilever. So many familiar faces in the crowd today, so pleasure to be here. And I will start with a trivia. So how many of you at home separate their waste at point of use? Okay, so I think that's about 2% of the total crowd. Okay, so separation means organic waste, plastic, paper, etc. So let me start by saying that actually plastic is not the problem. Okay, as a matter of fact, plastic of all the packaging materials, cans, aluminium, glass, whatever, plastic has the lowest carbon footprint. Okay? The biggest challenge for corporates is consumer behavior. Correct? The behavior change is one of the glaring challenges we have in recycling plastics. So Unilever, with about 400 brands globally and 2.5 billion consumers served per day, that's sheer scale of, of a manufacturing powerhouse. There's only one thing we can do as a business, is to turn that into force for good. Okay? So we have a couple of strategic ambition around what we do in sustainability, and our ambition is to make sustainable living commonplace. Okay? Out of that, there are 3 pillars, one of which is, of course, to improve the health of the planet, to improve health and confidence of people, and maybe to contribute to a more inclusive society. So those ones. Under the health of the planet, we have 3 pillars. One is regenerative nature, the other one is climate action, but the reason we are here today is waste-free world. Waste-free world meaning how can we as private sector lead through thought and action leadership to transform the way we package our products. So in 2017 thereabout, we made a couple of commitments as Unilever, 4 critical commitments. One was to reduce by half the expansive global, how we reach our consumers. That plastic footprint is massive. So we said we need to collect, process more plastic than we sell. In other words, try to be plastic neutral or positive. So we made a bit of progress in some of those areas. If you forget those 4, one of our mantras is to say use less plastics, better plastics, or no plastics. And then no plastic saying, do we have any other innovative packaging that is not plastic? Okay? So, Mary, and I know there was, we have a couple of Transform partners here. So what we're doing here in Kenya is working with strategic partners such as Mr. Green. I don't know whether he's around today. What we've done is we've injected some level of investment into his startup recycling plant, which today does about 240,000 metric tons per month. And he actually started very humbly at 60,000, okay? It's such a successful story that as we speak, Unilever today is one of the pioneer companies that has closed the circular loop in packaging. If you go to your shelves in the supermarket and you picked Sunlight or Vim, and of course we have now Domestos, you'll see something written 100% recycled. What that means is we collect the plastic waste here, we take it to Mr. Green or a couple of other recyclers, they crush it into flakes, because that's the first phase that when you're processing plastic, that's the first phase. Then you turn it into pellets. We get the pellets, send it to our third-party manufacturers, the people who make for us the canisters. They bring back the canister to Unilever, and we refill the Sunlight. In other words, no virgin plastic. Okay, that is what is called circularity, and we call it circular economy. It's very difficult to get to flexes, through that chain. So we still have a bit of linear economy, but we are doing something about it. Okay. When we are not doing that through action leadership, we work with Transform partners. And FCDO is here, Ernst & Young is here. Unilever has to date spent Transform program has to date disbursed about 50 million pounds, which is about 6.5 billion Kenyan shillings. We work in Sub-Saharan Africa. We've touched about 75 projects. We're in about 15 countries. We've touched about 7 million lives with those projects, and we are now expanding to Southeast Asia and South America. Okay? So, as I close, well done, Mary, with your new launch today. As I said, consumer behavior is one of the critical challenges. Just as I close, the market size of plastic recycling, by the global estimate, is about 32 billion USD. By 2027, it will explode to 42 billion. So as you say, Taka Taka ni mali, we just reinforce it. Thank you so much.
Asante Sana. That is Joe Sunday, Director Corporate Affairs at Unilever East Africa. I want to just get a very quick comment because we have in the house a commissioner from the human rights, whether there's anything that surrounds that. Oh, I can also see as well. Yeah, that's why I'm passing the mic there. So Sarah Godana, kindly in 60 seconds say something.
Thank you very much.
Put the mic closer to you, then yeah, there you go.
Thank you very much. I would want to congratulate Mary, the great lady who's taken a very great initiative in terms of protecting the environment, and by protecting the environment, she's protected humanity. Congratulations and keep it up. As Kenya National Commission on Human Rights, our main role is promotion and protection of human rights, as well as monitoring compliance both in public and private sector. And I think what we have seen here today is a great promotion of human rights, protection of human rights, and compliance through your organization are getting compliant to protection of environment. I think this time, this is the biggest challenge we have as humanity, and your steps have really greatly impacted, both at household level, as community level. Look at all the rights, human rights aspect that you have touched. Look at the family units, livelihoods you have touched, the right to education, the right to health, and all the other many rights through your initiative. So congratulations, we are very proud. Then the other thing, my organization works with all the sectors in government.
Yes.
Both on issues of policy and legislation. And I promise you we'll work together on issues of environmental protection, especially on waste management. Thank you.
Thank you so much for making it exactly 60 seconds. And on that table, we have Mercy Achola as well. You know, when you hear matters leadership in this country, globally as well. So Mercy, as usual, let's do it in our 60 seconds. Say something.
Yes, thank you very much, Maina. And I want to say congratulations to Mary for this great initiative. I know you told us we can ask questions to the panelists, but I think repeatedly, the two panels, I want to pose this question. We've seen the dumpsters where Mary and her team are going to. We've heard that there's financing. We've seen all the partnerships. Why can't we address the source of this problem, whereby you and I begin to sort out the garbage or the waste at source, which is in your house, in my house? Unilever. I use Sunlight. By the way, I used to work at Unilever, so I'm still a diligent consumer of Unilever products. But that Sunlight, that Vim, why can't I start sorting it out in my house? Why do you need to send somebody to a dumpster to pick it up? Wow. What can we do?
Okay.
That is the question. What can we do, you and I? And the reason I say that is because I'm a person of value who values people and who adds value to people. Thank you very much for this opportunity.
Thank you, Mercy. My goodness, critical questions. Leaders ask questions. Guess what? Sitting next to you, Flora. I don't know whether you're from State House, but anyway, just say something, at least in 60 seconds as well, because we can see you here. Karibu-san.
All right, Mary, congratulations. You know, every time I met Mary, she says, I'm going for my meeting. Ile Taka Taka, ile kitu Taka Taka. So congratulations. I mean, it's such a job well done, and I can just see how you're a big. She's always telling me she's very big picture. She's very strategic, and it really is, because I can see. Are we joining in the ground? Are we joining in the hub, or are we joining down there as private sector? So there are places for everybody to sort of latch on, and I think that's my challenge to you. Is now how much can we all plug in? You know, to Mercy's question, I was telling her, I tried to separate in my house. Then the truck just came and put them all together again. So I lost that story. So I think it's a matter of where can we all join into this conversation, and we need a lot more of this. Congratulations.
Thank you so much. My goodness, there you have it. Ladies skipping it at 60 seconds. Now, gentlemen in the house, it doesn't mean anything, but I'll give you a chance. I'll give you a chance as well later on. But I have a gentleman who's going to represent you as well in a great way. And I want to request that we have so many seats now here. There's no more panel. I want guys not to run away thinking there's another panel maybe or so. So if you could just remove some of them. Thank you so much to this amazing Taka Taka Nimali gentlemen. You've seen them labeled well. And by the way, I just had questions being asked about separation. Guess what is the solution here? Yeah, that's what we're about to unveil. You will see your homestead is attacked in a nice way. So you will get discipline somehow, somewhere. Ladies and gentlemen, I had 3 pages of the profile of the gentleman I'm about to invite, but he said, no, don't go through it all. Just call me by a sentence, the environmental envoy. Please put your hands together for Honorable David Osiany, who has been patiently here and has been behind the scenes. Wow, that's a way of a DJ saying that we have to shout that he's coming here. Karibu sana, and please take it over.
Thank you very much, Maina MC. Ladies and gentlemen, I know time is fast spent. And so I shall adhere to the 8th beatitude. For those of us Christians who interact with the beatitudes, it says, blessed are the peacemakers, they shall be called sons of God. I generated an 8th one, and this is not blasphemy. It says, blessed is the speaker who speaketh short, for he shall be invited to speak again. And I will try. My name is Honorable David Osiany, or David, as Ebenezer knows me, because I went to school with Ebenezer. We were classmates in the St. Mary's School, Yala, the school of Tom Mboya. I encountered Mary and Paul, first Mary, when serving this wonderful country as a Deputy Minister for Trade and Industry, or else known as a CAS. And so I traveled to Eldoret and I met this lady, and there was a storyline about women who have been impactful in the manufacturing space. Then I didn't know who the chair of WIM was. I had gone to officiate that event. They were opening Women in Manufacturing chapter, the first of its kind in Eldoret. And when I went there, I listened to the story of building industry from scratch. And I was wowed by how amazing a woman of steel, working together with her boyfriend, turned lover and now father of engineers, would build an industry from ground up, earning great respect as a woman in industry. Later I would hear that she too was the chair of the SME sector board at the Kenya Private Sector Alliance. And I said, so much admiration. Here was the chair of the Women in Manufacturing at the Kenya Association of Manufacturers. Here was the chair of the SME sector board at the Kenya Private Sector Alliance. And before I could find out who she was, I was being told this was the UN Person of the Year runner-up in 2017. And I'm thinking, how can one person achieve so much? Here is a lady who, when I later visited their wonderful factory at Lineplast, employs about 400 people, but almost 60% of them are women. But I know you have had impact, Mary, but there's no greater impact I have seen in your life than to listen to the story of Ruth Gaito as we went through the documentary. Maybe time is fast spent and so people have forgotten. It is the story of the lady who said, for those of you who couldn't understand this language of Jesus called Kiswahili, she said, I owned a kiosk and I was also selling charcoal. Then I was introduced to Taka Nimali. I started aggregating waste. I forfeited my kiosk. Kiosk is a small shop. I forfeited my kiosk. I stopped selling charcoal because it makes sense to me to collect waste. Indeed, there is the story of waste is wealth. If waste can take children to school as it does for Ruth Gaitho, then waste is wealth. If waste can afford the children of Ruth dignified dressing and buying uniforms as they go to school, then waste is wealth. If waste can make her comfortable enough to forfeit 2 businesses and settle for one, then waste is wealth. If waste can ensure that when her children fall ill, she is able to take them to hospital for attention, then waste is wealth. The real powerful story is going beyond managing waste but transforming it into wealth. And for that, you deserve an accolade, maybe a standing ovation. I think it is brilliant to make waste wealth for a continent and a nation that struggles every day with how shall we absorb our graduates? How shall we absorb our learned folks? How shall we take care of a population teeming with knowledge but having no placement? The solution comes with Mary, who says, listen, Taka Taka ni mali. Waste is wealth. And I think everybody who has come here tonight shares or buys into your vision. Those who may not have known what it is, now understand it for what it is. I understand when questions are asked by Mercy and saying, how shall we segregate or separate waste at home so that it is much easier to create wealth for Mary's teams in Kajiado and elsewhere? Conversations have to begin, and it has to be complementarily, so that then government knows its place as Mary attempts to solve this problem. They all know this is what we are going to do. Nairobi City County can say, we are going to put trucks that can be able to segregate waste, so that when Petco has worked together with Mary, then we can ensure that it's much easier to create wealth and employment through waste for this wonderful generation. Waste is wealth. I come here not in my government or former government role. I come here as an environmentalist who understands only too well that when we cry that we are no longer able to predict our rain patterns, then there is a problem beyond just sitting home or blaming it on somebody. It starts with us. I come here to shower you with much appreciation before the praise, for looking beyond what others are doing, seeing how you could plug into what they're doing, Mary, and together with your team, creating a powerful force for good, transforming what others just call Gasia, Taka Taka. Then you tell us, Nimali, waste is wealth. The journey towards the transformation of our environment, the journey towards achieving the things we say here, does not begin with some highly placed or some skyscraper notion of what ought to be done. It starts with what we are able to do to plug into the brilliant idea. I have seen partners in this place. Maybe when they came, they were thinking of funding you with $1,000. But because they see the impact, the potential for creating opportunities, for creating decent income and transforming livelihoods using what is just but waste, going beyond managing and solving the problem of discarding them right, but transforming them into waste. I urge those of us who are able to plug in and do. I am grateful for those who have. I am grateful for those who may have sponsored in one way or the other. But this powerful story must not go beyond here. It must go with us in our hearts, if not in our heads, and ask ourselves conversation. How shall we make waste wealth? Then when you finally realize that the nephew who has been nagging you to say, Auntie, I need a job, if you do your place right, Mary is going to have a solution for that problem. Because waste, because waste, because waste. I know, and I heard Paul donating his beloved wife to us to do that which she loves. But Paul, this lady is making money for Line Plus. If at all what the climate financing lady said is true. You know, Judith said, you're going to be paid if you can show us, you know, carbon markets. I see Taka Taka as the force for good. As you people being able to tell, to see that this is our contribution to the global problem. We are not going to run away from this, because the reality is the world still needs to feed. And I know, and I have been to Line Plus, and I know from their processes, from managing the machinery to walking towards a future where their packaging will not be plastic if it is achievable in the mid and long term. But as we walk towards that journey, it is useful, and it's great for corporates to learn what to do is not to just go for profit, but lace your purpose and profit with the transformation of livelihood and creating solutions for the world. The ESG agenda, environmental, social, governance. I have no issue with governance. I know that Line Plus is best managed, but now here they go with ESG, impacting on the environment the right way, retracting from the environment, reusing, recycling. And Mr. Sunday of Unilever has spoken beautifully about what is achievable, the reality, and whether plastic is the problem. And he says it is not the problem. It is a small problem of the bigger problem, but a problem nonetheless. Hence the intervention by Taka Taka. Ladies and gentlemen, I shall keep to my beatitude. I could speak days on end, because this is a matter close to my heart. And I come here as the United Nations Environmental Program and Buyer Environmental Envoy. It's a passion in the morning and a passion at dusk. When we leave here, forget everything else. Just know that waste is wealth, and create an opportunity for someone out there who will, like Ruth Gaitho, depend on you disposing of that waste correctly so that they could make a living for themselves and their families. It's been my honor and pleasure. Have a beautiful evening.
A better round of applause to Honorable David Oseany. Waste is wealth. My goodness, I was trying. I think the cocktail messed me up, but wow. But you're also a very great speaker, and we appreciate that gift. Yeah, if I was the government of the day, I would not let you go. But I'm just saying. And, yeah, absolutely. Now, ladies and gentlemen, we have come to the end of speeches. Anyway, that doesn't deserve a clap, but it's okay. I understand. But we are at the moment of the unveiling of the app, and I want to request our host, Mary, the advocate of Taka Taka Nemali, as we unveil this particular app. And what else are we doing? We're also unveiling or launching this particular center, the place where capacity building shall be done. I also want to request the representative from Unilever to kindly come. I can see him there. Please come to the stage as well. We also have a representative from Safaricom and Airtel. These are very important persons here. Kindly come, join Mary on the stage. There is a reason why I need her to get this company. And of course, the man who has put it very well, waste is, well, kindly as well. Please come, please come, please come. I'm sure if there's anything else you will forget, you will not forget that Taka Taka Nemali. Oh, he just came in. Just say hi. First of all, there's some thunder just popped in here. Please say hi, say hi, say hi.
Hi, everyone. Hi. Yeah, that's enough. No, my name is Lako Cheng. I'm managing director for Unilever, and I'm happy to be here. Unfortunately, I had a bit of a clash, so I apologize for coming late, but I'm glad to be here. Thank you, Mary.
Thank you so much. I can assure you are well represented here. Absolutely. Ladies and gentlemen, I want us to actually let the screen be seen. So two of us on this end, I think we can help with the banners as well, so that at least everybody can be able to see this. This is the launch. And the reason behind us being here is witnessing this as well. And I want to request the tech team to play the countdown. There you go. 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Ladies and gentlemen, Taka Taka ni mali up. There you have it. It's the beautiful launch. Right now, if you go to the Play Store and check Taka Taka ni mali, or if you're the iPhone kind of person, if you go there, you will find it right there. And there you have it. Please, one more round of applause for this launch. I can tell you, here we don't have confetti because we are recyclers. This is how we do our thing. So if you're waiting for some dust, and don't worry, this is how we do it. There you have it. That's the launch. That's how it looks like, the mobile app. Check it out. The TTNM mobile app, Taka Taka ni mali app. There you have it. You can go log in. You can see how you can sign in. It's showing you a bit of it. How it looks like, the interfaces. You put in your email and you're getting in right there. Does it work right now? That is an answer that we will answer right away. The Waste Entrepreneur Toolkit as well, enabling you as well to have a lot of information for yourself. If you want to be trained as well on matters circular economy, right here on this app, you'll get all that information. One more round of applause to this amazing application that is already in your mobile phones. I want to appreciate our guests. I know I had to bring you forward. Please take your seats, but at this moment I want to call upon David. David, kindly. David, if you could. Oh, sorry. We needed one photo, all of us. Sorry. Sorry. I know I rushed this cocktail. Anyway, please come through. We need to take some pictures. Yeah. So we want to see that logo. Please make sure the slide is showing the logo somehow. There you go. Stop it at that. And then just open it up fully. Thank you. Thank you, sir. So we want to see the GSME. Where are you? We called you here. Where are you? Where are you? Oh, there you go. I think he was still meditating on something. But Karibu Sana, we wanted you here because you're part and parcel of making this work. There you have it. Let's have some photos there. Smile to the cameras because they're taking this out. They're taking this up. I know, there you have it. Keep smiling at it. There you go. Yeah, there's more coming. There you go. Come closer now to this. Allow yourself to have this session. Oh, wow. There you go. Just hold it like you mean it. There you go. Make sure Mary can be seen. Yes, I'm a bit protective. There you go. Yeah. Honorable. Karibu hapo. Yes. The Safaricom in the house needs to be seen as well. There you go. Yeah. The gentleman. Yeah, there you go. Yeah.
Waste is wealth.
Yeah, when we say down, it's only for the men. The ladies just smile. That's a good one. There you go. That's a good photo. Keep smiling. Down a bit. There you go. Down, but maintain the smile. There you go. Taka Taka ni mali mobile app launched already. Have you downloaded, by the way? But don't try to sign in yet. I'll tell you when to sign in. But you can download. Yeah, there you go. Are we still smiling? Put it down now. Whoa, this one is the global winner photographer. When he says do it, do it. Yeah, there you go. Yeah, as they shake hands, there you go. Whoa. Taka Taka ni mali app launched right here. My goodness, this is beautiful. This is lovely. We are more than happy this is happening. There you have it. Are you ready? Excellent. Thank you so much to our guests. Thank you so much. And I want to request very fast, David. David, come tell us, what is this app all about? Are we able to do this now, or what is happening? What are you looking for? Please appreciate David. Please, he works right here, digital strategist here at Taka Taka Nimali. Asante sana DJ, very quickly. David is digital, so he does it in 2 minutes and we are done. Please go ahead, sir.
All protocols observed. Good evening, everyone.
Good evening.
My name is David Ngetru. I'm the lead digital strategy, digital strategy executive in Taka Nimali. And before I go on, first I want to acknowledge some of our technical partners who have helped us in implementing this journey so far. So on the left, we have, on the right, we have David, my namesake.
There you go.
So he has started with us since we started this project with UNDP, and we've been able to get it to actually launch and pilot this in Kajiado County. And on my left, we have Tom. So Tom is from a company called Fits, and here they have also joined us on this journey in developing this app up to where it is right now. So first of all, I want to clarify that the app is currently available on the Play Store, and it's not yet on the App Store. It's one of the reasons that we require support, because as we are looking to scale it up and make it available for everyone, we need it to be available for, on different platforms that everyone can be able to access it and be part of this ecosystem. So what is this ecosystem? The ecosystem is a means to connect households who are the generators of waste, collectors who are the ones who go to the households, pick up the waste, sort it and deliver it to aggregators. Aggregators who are the ones who accumulate this waste, also do some sorting and separation, and then now they sell this to the recyclers. So the current modules support these three players in the ecosystem, which are the household, collectors, and aggregators. And it seamlessly works because you only have one portal to log in, and you don't need a different app for each of these. So when you log in, you can be able to request for collection from your homestead. The collector will receive the collection request, pick it up, deliver it to the aggregator, and the aggregator will be able to accept this waste that's been collected, and this is recyclable waste. They have the rates on how much they pay for the different types of waste, and they will make the payments right now in cash. We have a module that we're looking to work with Safaricom on how we can be able to enhance our USSD system, which is also available because a lot of these people who are working on the bottom of the pyramid do not have smartphones, but they still need an interface because everyone generates waste. So it's just a call for support, call for action to all of you here to support us in this initiative so that we can work together to really ensure that everyone understands that waste is wealth. Taka Taka Nimali. Thank you.
Thank you so much. But before you go, David, sorry, I know I didn't prepare you for this. So you're saying this is working in Kajiado, eh?
Yes.
It's working in Kajiado. So you need to scale it up everywhere.
Yes.
So that now Mercy at home can stop asking the question of how do I separate and all those kind of things. With an app, you're able to do that, right?
Yes, yes.
Mercy, did you hear that? So it's possible. We just need you to come through. Thank you so much. One more round of applause to the tech team behind it. Thank you so much for making that happen. We are done, but I just want to request, Mary, could you kindly come here? Because there are people who have made this event happen. The sponsors of the day and the partners of the day. I just wanted to quickly mention them out. Please come so that at least you can feel appreciated by the host herself. Over to you.
So thank you so much. And I think today was the day that everybody spoke my story. And mine was to sit and listen and imagine how big this can be if we all collaborate in partnership towards a good cause. Allow me to first recognize our sponsors for today. The cocktails that we are having, all the drinks that we have, given to us by Qual. All the waters that we are drinking, given to us by Coke.
There you go.
We have bottles of whiskey I don't know whether you have been served whiskey or it is coming.
It's already over.
Courtesy of EABL.
Oh.
So there's a lot of cocktails to drink around. We have a lot of water and juices. Courtesy of Kevian Kenya.
Wow.
And we needed money to do things around. Kenya Commercial Bank.
KCB.
And the person who saved the major part of this event in finances, SBM Bank. We have other partners who have promised today on this stage that they are going to work with us, and we'll be reaching out for them so that they can be able to work with us. We have our other partners through Line Plus Group. Line Plus Group has also supported us financially. Na tunakula mbuzi after this, courtesy of our chairman. Kuna nyama ya mbuzi, courtesy of our chairman.
Yeah.
Zeng Hong, Kenya Limited. Siwasimame tuwaone.
Zeng Hong.
Zeng Hong, Kenya Limited. They have also financially supported us. Safer Power. They have also supported us financially. And our greatest partner in communication. When we started our journey of Taka Taka ni Mali, I think one of the things as SME people of industry area that we did not appreciate was the power of communication. But when you want to change the mindset of the community, you cannot do that without communication. Crestwood rebranded us. They have been doing our social media. They have done the documentary that we have run today. They have done all the digital conversation that you have seen around. They've been not just our sponsors, but our partners. And allow me to say, this is the side hustle for Mheshimiwa when he's not in the government. So he's been the part of the journey as Crestwood, and they have supported us. Our partners. We have partners that we have worked with, and they are the ones who have enabled this ecosystem to work. Because if we did not have Vince Plastics, who buy recyclables from our aggregators, then it would not make sense for our aggregators to aggregate the waste. If we did not have the waste center, who take the electronic waste from our aggregators, it would not make sense for the aggregators. If we did not have Mr. Green Africa, I'm sure they are here. We are working with them heavily in Rongai and Kajiado. They are buying all the recyclables plastics in Kajiado, in Rongai and Gong. And we also have Taka Taka Solution. Taka Taka Solution, currently they are the ones who are buying the recyclables from our Kitengela dam site. Line Plus Group is also our partner, because initially when we started and we did not have partners who are financially supporting us, they are the ones who walked us that journey until we've been able to get other partners. The Kenya Association of Manufacturers, they've been our partners, because anytime we call, they bring for us forward the manufacturers, they give us donation in kind, and we also execute trainings with them. Petco has been our partner, because they bring on board all the recyclers who are recycling plastics, and our aggregators have gotten market of where they would sell their the recyclables. We are officially going to be having partnerships that we need to sign MOUs today. And I'm hoping that those partnership Maina will explain what those partnerships will bring on board. I do not want to say what those partnerships are. Maina will do that. I also want to thank all of you, because you're partners on board. Even if I've not mentioned you here, you are partners on board, and this is the reason why you're here. So we are calling upon our synergy so that we work together and we make our environment clean and we grow We take our conversation from Nairobi to COP. I've forgotten someone else who's in the room. Dr. Sankare. Allow me to invite you here. I call Dr. Sankare because he has been the Chief Environment Officer for Kajiado County. And when we went to Kajiado County, the Kajiado County did not understand what we are talking about as waste is wealth. And this gentleman single-handedly has made it possible for us to implement our projects in Kajiado. What you have seen here today, it is his contribution because he understands the environment and he's also an academia and he sits in my board of advisory for Taka Taka Nimali. Thank you, Daktari. When we started and we had an idea that we had not actualized, UNDP, thank you so much for listening to that conversation that Carol was talking about, that it did not make sense, but they did give us resources to actualize the idea. And when we actualized the idea, then we got a bigger partner, Transform. And Transform is partnership of Ernst & Young, Unilever, and FCDO. I had a whole week last week taking them to the dump site to see what is happening in the dump site. And they are the ones who have enabled us to do what we are doing. And I think what we are showing is the strength of partnership to collaborate and work with the community so that we can be able to empower them and meet our objectives. I don't know whether I've forgotten any other partner, but feel appreciated because we are doing what we are doing for a good cause. And I'm sure it's not for Mary to stand here and appreciate all of us. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much, Mary, and to all our sponsors and partners, feel appreciated. At this moment, I want to request our unique tables to be brought here because we are signing 3 MOUs today. And the first MOU is the MOU between Global Compact and Taka Taka Nimali MOU. A round of applause to them. And I will be telling you briefly about it as the nice tables are coming in here. And just to let you know, I just heard clearly that there is nyamchom. So just leave at your own risk, if I may use that word. But you're free to go. This is why you don't invite so many people, so you can have a lot. But anyway, here I hear it's enough. It's enough. When the chairman is around, meat is around. Now, so this MOU between Global Compact and Taka Taka Nimali has these areas of collaboration, and one of it is breaking down of the sustainability principles for SME and CBO uptake. That's number one. SME and CBO uptake, just breaking down of sustainability principles. And number two, building a simplified curriculum for short courses on sustainability and circular models. For anyone of us here who's wondering, how do I get to learn this? Under this MOU with Global Compact and Taka Taka Nimali, there will be a breakdown, there will be a build-up of simplified curriculums for short courses on sustainability. I want to request the 2 leads in this particular one to kindly take the stage as the MOUs are brought here. So Mary, if you could kindly come, and as well as Judy, representing Global Compact, and let the MOUs come as well. I think they were being put on the safe. Yeah, bring them now. Yeah, please come with the MOUs. Number 3, this MOU as well will build a simplified, will establish, a collaborative training center for organizations on ESGs and sustainable waste management. That's very powerful because this place will be a training center for organizations on ESGs, matters ESGs, and finally integrating the sustainability curriculum into the digital platform for remote learning. Please put your hands together for the 2 leads here who are signing this particular MOU, and I want to request us all to really appreciate this amazing moment here. And I can see there's a way this is done, and I can see Mary is up to the task. MOU opening the page. There you go. And I want to believe that we have absolutely the pens are here. I have a feeling they're also made from recyclable material. This place, everything is environmental friendly. Once again, this MOU breaking down sustainability principles for SMEs uptake, building a simplified curriculum for short courses on sustainability and circularity models, and establishment of a collaborative training center for organizations on ESGs, and integrating the sustainability curriculum into the digital platform that we have just launched today for remote learning. So wherever you are, you'll be able to get integrated into this learning. And as we speak right now, the MOU is being signed by both organizations. I can see copies being ran across. Thank you so much. So wherever you are, don't ask about, oh, what is ESGs? I'm an SME. You can get to learn. And this is the center where once you are here, you'll be able to get all that. So we have established in this MOU a collaborative training center for anyone, organizations, to learn about ESGs and sustainable waste management. Pen to paper being done right away, breaking down of all these principles for SMEs and all that. For all those who are asking for Nyama, we have to wait for the MOU to be signed. And it's being done right here. There you go. It has to be very meticulous because this is being kept in safe custody. And I can see that we are almost there. And this desire, we talked about partnerships, is very important, especially with such an impactful organizations around the globe and representing us right here in Kenya. I see we are set. I want to request that we put them all back and then we can have an exchange and a handshake as well for the sake of recognizing this moment and tapping it in the... There you go. There you have it. Ladies and gentlemen, a round of applause to the two organization leaders for signing in this MOU. There you have it. Let's have a handshake as well. There you go. There you go. And good smiles happening. There you have it. And the MOU is signed. Thank you so much. They want you to exchange a bit. Oh, there you have it. Thank you so much. There you have it. That's a powerful signing in that has just happened. Asanteni sana. Global Compact for recognizing Taka Taka Nimali as a partner of choice as well in this matter. I want to request as well that we have the KEPSA representative to kindly come as well, because we are signing an MOU as well with KEPSA. And this is important because the representatives of all matters private sector, and this one as well has 3 key pillars that we will see being impacted as they sign, and I want to let you know what this will mean. Number 1, it comes in sensitization and awareness creation and sustainable solid waste management, which will be done through capacity building. We have called this center the Capacity Building Center of Choice. And so this MOU with KEPSA will build the sensitization and awareness creation and sustainable solid waste management, which will be done through capacity building. The second pillar is utilization of Taka Taka Nimali platform to obtain waste data research. We know KEPSA needs to do a lot of this, and through Taka Taka Nimali, this MOU will enable them to obtain waste data research. And finally, the executive project consultancies together with sustainable solid waste management to enhance a circular economy for a linear economy. That's a powerful 3-pillar MOU being signed there with KEPSA. Once again, sensitization and awareness creation on sustainable solid waste management, utilization of Taka Taka Nimali platform to obtain waste data research, and finally, executive consultancies together with sustainable solid waste management to enhance a circular economy and linear economy. A round of applause to the two leaders, KEPSA and Taka Taka Nimali, signing that MOU agreement that this is going to be happening. And we are very happy that this is happening as well. Beautiful. Kila mtu achukue yake, waangaliane, wapeane kwa picha. Thank you for my Swahili. Now, there you go. Asante sana. We appreciate you for that signing and representation with KEPSA. A round of applause to KEPSA representative for making this happen. And I want to request now, PETCO representative, PETCO kindly come through. PETCO is very key as well in this because they are big when it comes to matters waste. So I want to request that we have PETCO representation in the house. And I can see a banner courtesy of PETCO as well can be brought closer so that at least we can have this. And I'll be telling you Yes, just the sign-in page. I'll be telling you the 4 pillars that will inform this MOU. Number 1, improving the standards of waste management in the informal sector. Very critical. This is being signed to improve the standards of waste management in the informal sector. Number 2, increasing the volume of recovered material. We have a lot that is yet to be untapped. So we would want to increase the volume of recovered material. Number 3, what they're signing on is increasing the number of decent jobs for the informal waste sector. Increasing the number of decent jobs for the informal waste sector. And finally, generating database of waste collectors across the country. As you saw in the app that we have just launched, there's a place for waste collectors, the aggregators and all that. And ladies and gentlemen, a round of applause to this MOU with Petco and Taka Taka Nimali. Asanteni sana, that's it. There you have it. This is very critical as well. This is very good as well. Yeah, we can have that music. It's appreciating that this has happened. And there's a lot of all these standards that will be done. Thank you so much. And we have all the 3 MOUs that have been signed today. And by the way, there's a surprise gift to Mary by Petco. Ekuje hapa. There you have it. Aya. These ones are the guests who come with something. Look at the other person, tell them ulikuja na. But no worry, no worry. No pressure, you'll still eat the mbuzi. There you have it. Petco saying asante sana. Not only for the MOU, but also for making this happen. Thank you so much. We appreciate you so much, and thank you so much. So I would want to request Petco kindly come back. And all the other partners, KEPSA as well. We have signed an MOU and Global Compact as well. Please come. We also want KAM in the house. Please come. Vicks Plastics. Please come as well. Please come. We want to take one big photo with all these partners that we have. Vicks, please. Vicks Plastics, please come. Want to call you all here for this amazing picture. We could do away with the table. Thank you so much. Yeah. Mary, please be at the center stage because all these people believe in you and believe in the power of Taka Taka Nimali Center. There you have it. Let's have the particular MOUs. Just hold it. Don't worry. The picture will not capture the name. It's fine. But just hold it. Read it like you mean it. I know. I don't know whether I left one more somewhere there. There you go. There you go. Yeah. Just share. Sharing is caring. Just share one paper to. There you go. There you go. Just ensure that you don't capture the names. I mean, they're too small to be captured. There you have it. Yeah. Now all I need is good smiles, like you can imagine Nyam Chom is coming your way. There you have it. There you have it. Yeah. In fact, if you only say Taka Taka, you'll be smiling. There you have it. Congratulations for all these partners in making this happen. We appreciate you for this amazing session. There you go. Asanteni sana. Now we can give back the papers, the diamond ones, back to the holders. But you can shake hands there. You can smile in there. Those are still very good photos to show. There you have it. Ladies and gentlemen, as you can hear, the music is welcoming that Nyam Chom is ready and waiting. And I want to appreciate, especially those people who made this happen. Taka Taka Nimali through Line Plus for sponsoring this particular motion. I think we have had the sponsors and the juices by Kevian, water by Coke, and Johnny Walker by EABL. Watu wapewe. Ladies and gentlemen, Taka Taka ni. Ladies and gentlemen, that marks the end of this particular formal session. I now want to declare that the Nyam Chom and Cocktails round 3 is open. Thank you so much for your time. Enjoy. Nobody has been told to go, but enjoy at your pleasure and leave at your pleasure. Thank you so much. Right here at the center of Taka Taka Nimali. Asanteni sana to our online viewers as well. Bye-bye for now. See ya.
I was recognized by the UN as the UN Person of the Year. I got runners up, and I made a commitment to be an environment ambassador.
On this dump site, we have industrial waste. We have even sometimes hazardous waste. I don't know how they find their way, because we've been told that sometimes they bring and dump them at night. But of course, the county government have been very tough again on them, and we have not been able to see. I think for when we came, we've not been able to see now most of those hazardous waste here at the dump site. So now the very interesting story is where we are. There was a road, and it was going directly to the gate outside there. But now with all these hips, you see it's now, it's no longer passable here. So we had to come and now work on waste rehabilitation hub, which MRF, or material recovery facility, which was done by the county government. And of course, it was with the guidance of Taka Taka Nimali.
And this is how I've embarked that journey of Taka Taka Nimali, that as we take care of the environment, how also can we be able to create value and give value to waste, but we can improve the livelihood of the people who are dealing in that ecosystem of waste management.
So when we came here, initially the whole place, we didn't have any organization of the waste pickers. And initially they were around 15 waste pickers when we came, both women, men and youth as well. They never had IDs. They didn't, it was really hard to even identify who they were. So with the help of the First Lady, definitely we had to bring them together. We had to do trainings for them. To even, there was a day we had a partnership with NHIF. They came here, and then the First Lady and our patron, Taka Nimali, we were able now to issue the health insurance covers for them. At the moment, we have now more than, when we came in, they were around 15. Right now, we have over 40 of them, 40 waste pickers. And what they do, the value, like I had mentioned, they used to, for PET, it used to be 5.
Wherever you are, just appreciate them with a clap. It's coming here. There's a very big, lovely check here. I'll be telling you the amount later. But it is here coming. Wow. Photographers, this is why you repeat all your photos and ensure this one is clear. Yeah, because of how things are going. There you go, there you go. There's a check, ladies and gentlemen. And I can see Taka Taka Nimali, 300,000 only. My goodness, more cocktail. There you have it. Makofi tafadhali. 300,000 shillings. Wapi watu wa Taka Taka Nimali? Where are the people of Taka Taka Nimali? Simukuja hapa mpokee pesa. Hey, ama do I receive it on your behalf? Kujeni hapa. If you are branded Taka Taka Nimali, you should be here by now. There you go. There you have it. Yeah, put those smiles like you mean it. SBM is a bank that can be touched on the go. There you have it. 300,000 just popped in right now. There you have it. There you go. Thank you so much, SBM Bank, for this amazing check. Yeah. There you have it. Let's have a beautiful one. Ndiye mpeani. Mpeani. Oh, hapo kidogo. Yes, just move again. We want to avoid the light at the back. That's why. There you go. There you go. Can we have a... There you go. There you go. Thank you so much, SBM Bank, for what you're doing. There you go. There you go. This is what we call the spirit of being touched. There you have it. I appreciate you for this kind of surprises. There you go. Asanteni sana. Asanteni sana. Mary, don't go. Mary, don't go. I know you're very happy, but don't go yet. Thank you so much, SBM. I want to be left with Mary here. Oh, the hugs. Take them. Take them. They're important. They're important. Ladies and gentlemen, I have another surprise. There's another check. There's another check. They didn't even... This one was the one that was real touch. They didn't even have a preparation. Mary doesn't even know about it. I'm waiting for those hugs. Done. Thank you. Now it's my turn. Now, before I call the surprise, KCB, come. Please come. Are you taking this picture? Ama, you think I don't have a check? KCB, please come. KCB is in the house. They have decided as well to surprise you with a whopping 150,000. Makofi tafadhali. Makofi tafadhali. 150K, just like that. You're not even told about the proposal, but they have decided to come. There is a check. This is the real thing. Go bank it right away. Congratulations. I want us all to be closer. Is it? There you go. That's what they're saying. Wow. Maybe I need to also... there you go. There you go. Makofi tafadhali. Asanteni sana for... There you go. I hope in 150K. Just to say that. There you go. There you go. Absolutely. Asanteni sana. KCB, SBM. Is there anybody else who wants to be touched? Just check it. Thank you so much. We appreciate you for that. Yeah. There's no one else. We're just calling them like in the spirit. Come. Anyway. Thank you so much. Thank you. Safaricom representative, please come. We need a picture with you. Please come. We just need one picture with you for the records. Thank you. There you have it. Not yet, not yet. There you go. Yeah, look at the camera. There's another check. Please be touched like that. Let me see. There's something very nice here. Very nice here. Wow. Ladies and gentlemen, another 150,000 shillings has just popped in. Makofi tafadhali. There you have it. Another 150,000 shillings. The chairman has been touched. On top of the nyam chom, he has said, let's keep on doing what we are doing. Asante sana, chairman. Thank you so much for making this happen as well. Zenkong, please, if you could kindly come for a photo. Zenkong, please come. Chairman, we need you to hold this on the side, just like me, like that. There you go, and then smile like that. Excellent. Yeah, angalia hapa chini inakaaje. Angalia ni hapo. Those hands. There you go. Please come. Please come. Both of you would like to take a photo. Saver Power as well. I need a photo with you. Saver Power. Saver Power, please be here as well. Next as well to take a photo. There you go. Guys, the smiles are needed. There you go. Beautiful. You guys are powerful, eh? Excellent. Excellent. Thank you so much. Yes, and we have... James, where are you, James? Come here. Is it James or who? James is the picture. No, Saver Power is not here. He's James of Saver Power, come here. Come here, let's take this one. Please don't go. You cannot go. Otherwise, there's no nyam chum for you. Just take a picture. Take the picture. Excellent. Yeah, you better smile. There you have it. Infinity, where are you? Infinity, please. Infinity as well. We need you here. Infinity. Cairo, where are you? Infinity, come. Please come. Please come. Infinity. Are you here? Ah, okay. You're the guys who have no end. Infinity. There you go. Yeah. This guy only needs one photo. That's okay. Don't. Yeah. Then we have Infinity here. Please come. The gentleman can be at the center, just admiring this. Please come close here. Come. There you go. Shikilia vizuri. Yeah. Enjoy it. There you go. Yeah. Yeah. Taka Taka Nimali. There you have it. Excellent. Excellent. There you have it. Thank you so much, Infinity. Just don't let it drop. Dr. Sankari, please as well come in. Dr. Sankari is here. Please come this side, like me. I was posing so that I can show you how to do it. There you go. Please, we want anyone in here as well. We are just calling you. This is a photo moment. It's open. Mary is here before she's taken out. Please come, take a photo, enjoy the moment. It will be very important if you can. Dalmas, save a power. This is the powerful man. Yeah, there you go. There you go. Yeah, there you have it. Yeah, who else is missing a picture? Going once, twice. Are you there? Excellent. Yeah, there you have it. I think I'll open the session now for the interview. Okay, yeah, it's possible.
After I was recognized by the UN as the UN Person of the Year 2017. I got runners-up, and I made a commitment to be an environment ambassador.
On this dump site, we have industrial waste. We have even sometimes hazardous waste. I don't know how they find their way, because we've been told that sometimes they bring and dump them at night. But of course, the county government have been very tough again on them, and we have not been able to see. I think for when we came, we've not been able to see now most of those hazardous waste here at the dump site. So now the very interesting story is where we are. There was a road, and it was going directly to the gate outside there. But now with all these hips, you see it's now, it's no longer passable here. So we had to come and now work on waste rehabilitation hub, which MRF, or material recovery facility, which was done by the county government. And of course, it was with the guidance of Taka Taka Nimali.
And this is how I've embarked that journey of Taka Taka Nimali, that as we take care of the environment, how also can we be able to create value and give value to waste, so that we can improve the livelihood of the people who are dealing in that ecosystem of waste management.
So when we came here, initially the whole place, we didn't have any organization of the waste pickers. And initially they were around 15 waste pickers when we came, both women, men and youth as well. They never had IDs. They didn't, it was really hard to even identify who they were. So with the help of the First Lady, definitely we had to bring them together. We had to do trainings for them. To even, there was a day we had a partnership with NHIF. They came here, and then the First Lady and our patron, Taka Nimali, we were able now to issue the health insurance covers for them. At the moment, we have now more than, when we came in, they were around 15. Right now, we have over 40 of them, 40 waste pickers. And what they do, the value, like I had mentioned, They used to, for PET, it used to be 5 shillings. But now, when we came in, we were able now to negotiate with recyclers, and they're able to buy PET at 15 shillings and above. We've also trained them on issues of separation, because sometimes, you know, you have to separate, especially the colors. We have those clear, we have the green ones, we have the blue. So they're able now to separate after the training that we did.
Naitwa Agnes Mwende. Mimi ndio chairperson huku Dam site na